Students really enjoy stop motion because it is enjoyable and it's really fun for students to create different slides. So I had a student create this slide and it was rules on science safety. So it was a concept that they were learning at the beginning of the year. Again, stop motion can be for any subject, any content, and it can be really used for anything. Once students really find enjoyment out of it, you can see that students start to create all of these different stop motion videos that are on the blog. So, for example, some of the tips I show students is first, we're just going to start with a blank Google slide. So, that blank Google slide normally looks just like that, and teachers assign it in Google Classroom. Every student will get a copy of it, and then students have a blank canvas to kind of start creating from. This student, for example, she used word art. So, to find word art, you're going to go to Insert, Word Art, which is right here. And then students can start typing and it will pop up in here. They have to double click and then they can change what's inside of their word art. On the second slide, she added another word art. So rules on. I tell students every slide is about 1 second long. So how long do you want that to pop up? Rules on science safety. So this is going to pop up just like that. If she wanted this slide to be 2 seconds long instead of 1 second, all she has to do is duplicate. And again, if she wanted it for 3 seconds, she would duplicate it again for 3 seconds. As you can see here, if we wanted to add movement to this horse, I would just move the horse a tiny bit every single time. And you can see that the horse is moving. Same thing with the people. You can see how she, if I wanted that guy to move, I could just move him just a tad on every single slide until I get him where I exactly want him. Another fun trick is these images. So she kind of made her own little person. I tell students all the time that's fantastic, but it does get a little bit tricky when you're using all these different shapes. So one of the tips for moving the whole thing is to just come down here and highlight the whole thing that you want to move. Everything that's going to be blue will move with you. Also, if she wanted to change this body, Google Slides has awesome editing formats for photos. So if you go to Format Options, you can then change the size, the position. You can recolor it to any of these colors. Sometimes students will see different colors if it's not a black and white image. And then same here with the transparency. So we talk a lot about the transparency of how we can make their bodies or the background transparent and then make it more brighter as the slide goes on, depending on what the topic is to add that effect. There's also drop shadows and reflection, but the big one I like to touch on is transparency and how we can make it pretty much invisible, kind of fade in and then fade it all the way so it's brighter. The Explore tool, a lot of the students use to find their images. So they'll use the Explore tool. They can type in cat if that's what they're learning about. Go to images, and then they can just drag and place their image right on there. I always remind students it has to be blue in order for you to have the format options. And here we might be able to see the recolor. I can make this cat pretty much any color I wanted to, which a lot of students really enjoy playing with. Some students make the background if they're not going to change it. However, if they do want a transparent background, I just have them take a background, take the image, make it transparent, and then format it so it fits that slide. I also remind students, please duplicate so you're saving time. Also, another trick is we talk about the crop tool and how we can use the shapes to crop to different images to add that effect. We also talk about using the color tool and how you can go to custom and find different colors that way. And with shapes too, you can add backgrounds instead of just a white background. And you can actually use this transparency toolbar to kind of help add different effects to the slideshow. Once students are completely done, all they have to do is go to File, Publish to the Web, and they have to change this to every second. And then they're going to copy and paste that link to the URL to view their stop motion. And again, kids love these. They will go home and start creating their own examples on stop motion. So I hope this was helpful.